I need people to understand when I say this. When I mean I can't rewatch movies. Like, I watched Toy Story like 5 years ago, and I will never watch Toy Story again. Why? Because there's no reason to. Like Finding Nemo. Why would you ever need to watch it? Like, I'm talking about willingly. Why would you ever want to just by yourself just watch Finding Nemo? You feel me? Or what's it called? Just any old show. I mean, really. I mean, I'm just that type of person on some things, some shows. But yo, we here though.
A few months ago, I was
Game
sitting there
of
watching
Thrones. I cannot cap. I have not seen a single episode of Game of Thrones, bro. I have not seen a single
the
episode
Stranger
of it.
Things finale thinking, damn, this shit is trash. And it got me thinking about another very popular show that had a Blueface music level ending. Straight garbage. And that show is, of course, Game of Thrones. Now, there is so much wrong with Season 8, especially the last episode, that I don't know how to really attack this. So I'm gonna pull a Chris Beasy and hit this bit from all angles. First off, the final battle. Dudes was gassing up, winter is coming since episode 1. And yet, winter ended in one episode.
Oh, yeah, bro. I'm not lying. I've seen a lot of shorts. Is this the thing? Is this the show with that little short dude? The little dwarf dude? If that is it, I'm not gonna lie, he is so cold. I cannot count. If that's the show, oh yeah, this.
And a garbage episode at that. The final battle should have lasted like a whole season, bro. Dany and Jon Snow's fucking was longer than the Night King's final fight scene. Point me in the direction of the dude who I need to slap that decided
different. I'm telling you, this clip is universal. You're gonna see it in my other video too.
Night King's final fight scene. Point me in
this LeBron clip. It was in my last video too.
In the direction of the dude
LeBron really went to a ref and pulled him all the way. You know what? I gotta watch that.
Who I need to slap that decided it was a good idea to make this shit impossible to see for anyone. Had me squinting in this bitch. Why is it so dark? These motherfuckers were fighting and I'm there completely unaware if we're winning or not. Jon Snow might have just caught a body or Bran just got slimed out. I really have no clue. It's too dark. That's not to mention the fact that their plan made no damn sense to begin with. You had like 18 different niggas sit in that room planning up something. Tyrion, who's supposed to be the smartest tactician.
So this is Game of Thrones, like, okay, him right here. So I thought he died. So this is like the final battle. I thought he been died. What the? You know what? I don't know nothing about this.
And they were not cooking shit. The goal should be to kill the Night King, cause if he dies, all the undead die. Except they literally just plan to stand there and wait for whatever reason instead of devising actual strategy to flank his ass and clap his cheeks, hit him with that prison move. They say they want to lure him to Bran, but how's just waiting for them to charge gonna help that? They never actually say what they're gonna do once he's lured to Bran. Never once. Not only did they decide to design their plan over just standing and waiting for an unlimited amount of enemies with no clear direction or plan, but why the fuck did they have these
Oh my days, I hate shows and movies like this. What's it called? Pirate of the Caribbean did this too. I hated that scene, bro. Like, where it's just so, like, bro, it's just so foggy or something, like. And then, like, I'm not saying, bro, videos is bad. I'm just saying he be going from, like meme to meme to meme to meme. So, like, the quality don't be all synced. So, I'm just saying.
Is waiting outside the castle. They also send the Dothraki charge in first, a group who relies on speed and quick attacks. They just send these niggas into the dark to get slaughtered, bro. That's literally playing Steph Curry at center, making him take Kareem skyhooks. What type of shot is that? They also decide to hide the civilians in crypts, a place that holds a bunch of dead people, versus a nigga who can rise the dead. Hey y'all, we fighting Magneto today. I told him to see us in the scrapyard. That's where we gonna sneak him. But okay, cool, whatever. The plan sucks and I can't see shit, but at least I'm gonna get to see a great 1v1 face-off between Dany and Jon versus the Night King, right?
No, nigga!
Nah, instead we're gonna have Arya one-shot this nigga. If it was deadass that easy, How the fuck is he not already dead? Not to mention Arya having absolutely no association to him whatsoever, instead of them having Jon Snow or Dany do it, which would have been way more narratively interesting. Could you imagine you're watching a Flash movie and at the end the villain gets beat by Superman and Batman out of nowhere? That makes zero sense from a storytelling perspective. Reverse Flash gonna be looking around.
Can you say that, bro? That CW or whatever it's called, that Flash movie was so trash, bro. You can't really say he needed help. He needed help. He needed Batman and a version of technically Superman, which is Supergirl, to help him win that fight.
Who are these niggas? Really Dany has beef with the Night King because he slimed out her dragon, one of her children, and made it join his army like KD to the Warriors, bringing it back to life as a White Walker. Jon's whole goal for the whole show has been planning for the Night King's arrival. It's such blue balls to have the big bad go out like a bitch. I'm convinced Tyrion could have given him some work with a stepping stool and a butter knife. Not to mention the ridiculous plot armor everyone seemingly gets in the final battle. The writers were more terrified than Mayweather on a reading test at having to kill off a major character. So despite there being basically unlimited White Walkers, they somehow managed to fight off unlimited hordes despite very clearly.
So it's basically the same. Like, I get it. I don't, like, even in mines that I'm going to make one day, I don't even want to kill off no characters, but like, you got to. Dragon Ball is very bad at it. I'm not lying. They do not want to kill off nobody.
Being overwhelmed. I'll never forget in season 7.
They better wish them back so they can go home and chill with their wives.
And when Jaime is charging in at Dany, and somehow the very clearly shallow water becomes the Atlantic Ocean out of nowhere to save him from getting hit by surface flames. You can say what you want about Goku's plot armor, but that nigga has never shifted whole landscapes purely off the plot now allowing him to die. There's no way you're telling me that shallow water became the Marianas Trench out of nowhere.
Oh, wow,
the dragons that were seemingly the most powerful things ever can't even melt a single rock that Jon Snow is standing behind. You built up this big final battle versus the force that we really didn't get to see much of in the show, and guess what? Well, if you've seen the ending of the show, for one, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And for two, the Night King wasn't even the final boss. They made the final boss Cersei. Instead of the supernatural, mysterious, all-powerful Night King, the true final boss is some crazy bitch who fucks her brother and keeps having short bus children.
I knew it.
I'm crying.
I knew it. Then he get tried for murder or something. Like, I'm pretty sure that little bro right here.
Boss is some crazy bitch who fucks her brother and keeps having.
Bro right here, yeah. Oh my days. Even the actor, bro, like. I can't imagine you are not this weird in real life too. I mean, the actor just did too much of a
short bus children. I'm crying, bro. Which is a good way to segue to slandering who was my favorite character.
Is bro really that short?
For a lot of the story, I was rooting for, out of everyone, that Dany became the queen. Her or Stannis, but Stannis got some witch coochie and he lost the plot. Burned his own chopped daughter at the stake, so fuck him. She did genuinely seem like she had a good heart. We see her showing kindness to the weak, women, and children, often putting their needs before her own gains, feeding them. She way better than me. I be giving these NYC crackheads a high five when they put their hands out for some money. Good luck, my nigga. She gave them housing, community, safety, and all she asked in return was their loyalty. She freed countless slaves from Essos and fought against slavery, viewed it as a major injustice in her world. They literally call her the breaker of chains. Her whole goal was to break the cycle of tyranny with Jon Snow at her side. Pretty sure she was that nigga's auntie and they were fucking though. And that all goes out the window seemingly out of nowhere, cause she flips a switch and decides she's gonna melt down the entirety of King's Landing, innocents included. Keep in mind, King's Landing literally surrendered. She knew that and still just kept cooking these niggas, literally. She really looked out at this view and was like,
I'm telling you.
All in a good day's work. We're supposed to believe she's gone mad like the previous Targaryens, but they barely showed any signs of that till now. They showed slight signs, but it went from sleeping with socks on type of crazy to fuck you nigga, let's die, in literally the blink of an eye. And it's not to say she doesn't have a good reason to be mad, cause she does. 2 of her dragons are dead, Jorah is dead, Missandei got slimed out. She felt her claims to the throne was fugazi once she found out Jon was the true heir to it. but that doesn't mean it wasn't still random and such a cop-out. It just makes no sense because, bro, if I'm a citizen of King's Landing and you just boomed us, why would I ever follow you?
You make me why would
they gonna be looking at you like you fucked up, you should have killed me. And revolt against her most likely because she just turned their auntie, grandpa, and daughter into baked meatballs outside. Niggas can't just be like, yeah, that's the point she lost her mind in those 30 minutes. Duh. That nigga John had zero desire to be king anyways. And this all leads to John having to kill her, and I hated that.
What?
If you're gonna have Peter Parker kill MJ, you better have a great fucking reason for it other than his radioactive cum. But because they disregarded Danny's character out of nowhere so fast, it also felt equally as rushed to see Jon Snow, someone who we know to be one of the most loyal characters on the show, heel turn out of nowhere without showing him deliberating the decision at all. These writers really thought we were Twitch stream watchers and would just take whatever. They thought we'd just dick ride whatever they put out. Niggas wanted us to believe that Danny completely lost it and went fully against everything her character stood for a decade, and John too, within 40 minutes.
Hold that thought.
Imagine in the literal last episode, Walter White being like, you know what? I don't even want to do this drug dealing shit anymore for real. After just dumping.
Like, where did this even come out on? Like, I'm trying to like think, cause I ain't watched this.
Ridiculous amounts of drugs into the streets, making Ronald Reagan proud as hell. If they wanted to have Danny have a reverse character arc where she spirals into madness, it could have worked. You just should have showed it truly being set up from before. Look at really D16 in Transformers 1. It was a progressive descent into madness that we could see coming. It wasn't just one day, man, fuck Sentinel. He didn't give me an autograph. Now all you niggas need to die. And remember how I said the plot armor started getting ridiculous at the end? Based on everything we know, how was it that Danny's dragon didn't melt Jon Snow's dick off with fire the second he saw him kill his mother? From everything we know, that dragon should have offed him right there. To be fair, Jon's been through enough. The writers also hold him, obviously having him do that crazy decision of killing his girlfriend. But this subsequently leads to him being banished to the Night Watch in the last episode, but the Night Watch was a lookout post for the Night King and the White Walkers. Nigga, they all died. Who the fuck y'all looking out for? Alert the king, we just seen a pigeon fly by. Jon Snow was the main hero of the story, so to say, and in the final season, they decided to make him incapable of making any decision on his own anymore. He literally just sits around, gives Danny dick when she needs it, makes dumbass faces, and has no real impact in the story. Because they decided to give the real impact to niggas nobody cared about like Bran and Arya Stark. Not to mention, why'd they even have that big reveal with Jon Snow being a Targaryen if it amounted to literally nothing and he just ends up going back to where he started the goddamn show at? Imagine Barry Allen getting powers and then them being like, oh, that's what's up, my nigga. Now get back to forensic work. The fuck would you show me something for if I couldn't have it? It makes me feel...
But that's another show that is just so... I'm like, when you're watching it, like, you do not analyze it at all when you're just watching it for the first time. Like, that Barry Allen flash, like, that one military scene where he catches that, like, little cube thing and just spikes just go all over his body, bro. I thought that was the coldest thing ever, bro. Then when you watch people analyze the show, bro, you realize how bad of a show it is, right? This man lets go every single villain that he ever went up against in that show.
Like, the only reason they revealed he's a Targaryen is just to try and make it seem like Dany had multiple reasons to lose her shit. That was the only reason they introduced that plotline. This is a character who has made the most selfless sacrifices in the show, was a hero, one of the best leaders in fiction, and his ending was utterly meaningless. You could have given a meaningless ending to a nigga like Bran who nobody cares about, other than all 5 of the Bran fans. Nobody would have minded that much. But not Jon Snow. But nope, something in their head said, instead, we should make Bran the king. Someone who had zero association with the fight for the throne throughout the entire series. How y'all gonna hire a nigga who didn't even apply for the job ever? By the end of the series, Bran had the emotion of Kawhi Leonard. Niggas is getting slaughtered and he's sitting there not walking ability ass nigga, looking like these. Not to mention, he was completely irrelevant in anything big that was going on for most of the show regarding the thrones. He wasn't at any of the major battles going on for most of the show. Bro was just a plot device tool used for exposition. That nigga was just always out here explaining shit, cause he can see everything or whatever. Captain America handing
I mean, that is a clutch ability. I mean, you can see everything. I mean, I see why they
the
chose
shield
him.
to Sam made sense based on everything that had happened. Imagine if he handed it to...
I mean, look, if everybody else is gone, like, quite literally, if everybody else gone and you was in the main lineup, I mean, I don't see why not. He's not king, so...
Ant-Man instead. Nigga, what the fuck is Ant-Man gotta do with anything? That's the exact correlation. The show was built around the throne regarding birthright. That was the main concept around earning the throne, to which he has no connection to, and he can't even have any heirs. His bottom half don't work. Bro couldn't get his meat up even if the nation depended on it. One of the biggest issues that Dany was gonna be faced with, that they laid out in the show while trying to rule Westeros, was the fact that she was an unfamiliar face. People of Westeros were gonna look at her like,
who the fuck is that guy?
Does that factor just not matter anymore? Cause why the fuck would they then accept Bran, who nobody knows? It just makes no sense. And don't worry, I'm not gonna let them get away with the assassination of Jaime Lannister's character at the snap of a finger. Jaime Lannister, as best as I can explain it, was the Zuko character arc of this story. Now imagine in the final battle, if seemingly out of nowhere, Zuko went back to Fire Lord Ozai to join him and then got defeated with him by Aang. You'd be like,
it's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
Jaime went through his whole Shaolin monk character.
Sometimes they do that. For some reason, they do that. Some shows do that. Like, come on.
Their growth just to go back to his sister and die with her by falling rocks. That shit just sounds lame. Reverting all the character development he had, the sibling coochie couldn't have been that good, bro. The show made a point to have it seem like he had moved on from those days of having sex with his sister, getting her pregnant, and creating mutant babies with 4 chromosomes. We all thought he moved on with Brienne, but nope. He ditched her 6'4" ass like it was nothing. Niggas fumbling, he could have had a child going to the league with her. They even have him say he never cared much for the innocents, which is just a fucking lie. He cares a lot. I know because I watched the show. He was literally the one who killed the Mad King to protect the lives of innocents and took the shame that came with being a Kingslayer for their well-being. He always cared since the beginning. When he pushes Bran out the window because he caught Jaime giving vicious strokes to his sister, he literally says, "The things I do for love." His entire
You know what? I'm not even about to.
Character is based around taking hits to his reputation, making himself look dishonorable if it means protecting someone else's. He has a very self-destructive nature because how much he cares. In the beginning of the series, you see this guy is in full gold armor with blonde hair, kind of seemingly snobbish, and you're like, oh yeah, this guy definitely gets bitches. And he's an asshole too, for sure. And the show does an amazing job of when he's at his lowest, captured by the Starks to show that all that shit was a facade. He's actually extremely emotionally complex character. And for all of it to be reverted and be like, actually nah, he was really just a horrible person the whole time. In the last episode after 7 seasons of showing us he's not, that makes no sense. They even ruined Cersei. She was a calculated antagonist in the story previously. You really had no idea what type of timing she was on. She never let niggas know her next move. And that was the appeal of her character, you know? She was conniving. You never really knew as an audience member if you could trust her or not, if you could trust what she's saying or not. She goes from that to just literally Green Goblin, my nigga. Full-on comic book villain. The writers had her kill everyone at the Sept of Baelor with a fucking pumpkin grenade because it would have been too much effort for them to have to write all those important characters an actual ending to their story. Her death was super anticlimactic because, okay, cool. You want to make her the true villain in the end of the story instead of the Night King. So how the fuck you gonna have her just die to a bunch of falling rocks, bro? They could have had Jaime kill her. That would have been insane and make narrative sense. They could have had Dany kill her directly. Burn that bitch with the dragon. Maybe even Sansa. Shit, I don't know. Cersei put that girl through hell. More hell than she experienced being Jean Grey in the X-Men movie. But nah, she just dies to a bunch of falling rocks instead. She caused so much suffering and her death had zero justice to it. After every horrible thing he's done, ain't nobody want to see Thanos choke on a burger and die. Niggas want to see him getting destroyed in a way that does justice to the characters and the story, which is why Iron Man snapping him away felt perfect. The whole family isn't safe because their goblin looking little brother Tyrion being ruined hurt me a lot too. Because despite being the size of an 8-year-old, he had the mind of a wise 70-year-old. Except in season 8, then he just becomes stupid. Throughout the entire beginning of the show, he states how Cersei is like talking to a brick wall. You'll never get through to her. But then, for the final 2 seasons, his brilliant plan he can come up with to help Dany take the Iron Throne is, trust me bro, I can reason with her bro, trust, just give me a second, I could talk her out of this. Wow. He believes her when she says she'll send a fleet to fight the White Walkers. She of course didn't. It makes no sense why he would even believe her. He's explained many times she's impossible to trust, which ultimately leads to Dany's Iron Fleet getting captured by Euron Greyjoy. It was his ridiculous plan to go kidnap a White Walker and bring it to Cersei so she'd believe they exist, which got many killed, all for her to not care anyways. Which also goes back to the ridiculous writing around Cersei's character. Cause the fuck you mean you see the Walking Dead is on their way and you don't care? Bitch, they're not gonna stop at the north. They'll come to Westeros too. So her just not caring is some Green Goblin crash out shit that makes no sense. It was also Tyrion's plan to put the weak and children inside the crypts in the final battle. Smartest character on the show.
Bro, I hope I didn't pause it because we were just like, we were literally right there. But that's the same with The Witcher, bro. Literally, the first couple episodes with The Witcher, bro. You're hearing an army is literally slaughtering nations. Literally coming y'all way. Oh, I don't care. We're going to fight them anyway. Like, come on. You're going to go there yourself.
Oh, by the way, another character who just ruins the last season. Arya Stark, who literally just becomes the fucking Terminator. During the final battle, everyone's struggling, and then there's just Arya, who's slicing and dicing through the White Walkers like it's nothing. Bitch is Captain America. They just randomly decided that this character was gonna become Deadpool at some point in the show. She gets stabbed in the gut multiple times and just walks it off. Everyone at King's Landing is getting fucked by Dany's dragon, and Arya lives it like it's nothing. She actually just throughout the show starts TPing places and assassinates people. She quite literally just becomes an MCU character. I can't take her serious at all, bro. I guess the reason why this really bothers me is because I'm so passionate about Game of Thrones, because peak for peak, this is probably the best show I've ever seen, at its best. Game of Thrones versus Breaking Bad, give me Game of Thrones at their best. But the consistency levels of Breaking Bad shit on it so much, and Breaking Bad's ending was so peak. It makes it so that these two shows aren't even in the same tier anymore, and that's very unfortunate. So yeah, that's enough ranting for today. Peace out, subscribe, bye.
He's gone. He's gone. Hey, that's it for this video, man. I'm going. Hey.